The first story of this week took place Sunday afternoon with the announcement by Allegheny County Executive Rich Fitzgerald that until further notice, Allegheny County, where Pittsburgh is located, would be banning the consumption of alcohol in bars, restaurants, or other business establishments. The action, precipitated by an uptick in COVID-19 cases and likely reinforced by highly publicized violations of the COVID guidelines in Pittsburgh, went into effect Tuesday at 5 p.m. Yesterday, I traveled to Pittsburgh for an in-person meeting with Mr. Fitzgerald, along with a small group of area restaurant and hotel leaders. By all accounts, the meeting was cordial and productive, and Mr. Fitzgerald welcomed the opportunity for the county and PRLA to collaborate in developing and implementing plans to keep guests and employees safe that would also help to keep restaurants alive, as we have been doing with Governor Wolf's team here in Harrisburg. Shortly after I began my long drive home, I stopped at a roadside rest, eager to write a thank you note to Mr. Fitzgerald and to outline our ideas, as he had requested. Even as I typed the letter, I received word that Allegheny County Health Director Dr. Deborah Bogan had issued an order closing restaurants, except for takeout and delivery, for 1 week in Allegheny County. I don't know what to say, except to our restaurant and friends in Pittsburgh, I'm so sorry. I know that the revitalization of your great city was due in large part to the restaurant industry, and now many of you may have lost your last hope. As always, PRLA will do everything within our power to help, though I understand that in many cases, we just can't do enough. Also this week, the city of Philadelphia announced that it will not allow restaurants to open for indoor dining today, as previously announced. Was likely due to the uptick in cases resulting from visits to the shore and the announcement by the state of New Jersey and the city of New York that restaurants will not reopen there either. Also, we are told that many restaurants are not following the current guidelines, and that weighed heavily into the decision on the part of the health department. We expect that the earliest date that Philly might open for indoor dining is in early August. Philadelphia also announced that they're requiring everyone to wear masks indoors and outdoors if they're not with members of the household. Incredibly enough, while Philadelphia businesses are fighting for their lives and many are closed, the city's Office of Labor began yesterday to require employers to provide a good faith estimate of hours to existing employees under their new predictive scheduling law. The Restaurants Act bill in Washington was introduced by Senator Wicker of Mississippi. The bill, while providing not quite as much funding, it does reflect the priorities proposed by the National Restaurant Association, our national partner, earlier this year. The bill would provide relief and recovery to restaurants to make up for some of the losses incurred before and because of the pandemic. While it's a positive bill, and we thank Senator Wicker for his work on this critical effort, it's more likely that the next relief package will be part of the so-called COVID-4 legislation that Congress will be considering over the next month or so. This week, PRLA also held 2 chapter meetings, again virtually, Philadelphia and Keystone, and the Alcohol Service Committee met to discuss concerns that were raised by Allegheny County's actions. This week has punctuated the importance of following the restaurant reopening guidelines to a T, especially the requirement that employees and guests wear face masks and the proper social distancing is observed. No one, and I repeat, no one is permitted to enter your business without a face mask unless they have a medical exemption. The importance of wearing face masks and social distancing cannot be overemphasized. These practices are necessary to keep people alive and frankly, to keep your business alive. Pennsylvania has done an excellent job compared to almost all other states in managing this crisis. We must remain diligent. Though the Commonwealth is tracking better than most of the country in controlling the virus, many counties like Allegheny are showing an increase in cases. Consequently, yesterday, Secretary Levine updated the business safety order specifying that masks must be worn, not just when entering a public place, but whenever anyone leaves home throughout the state. PRLA continues to work with the administration on highlighting the importance of following standards. Also, just yesterday, in the category of least surprising news of the week, the Supreme Court sided with Governor Wolf in validating his state of emergency order. As you may recall, the legislature attempted to end the state of emergency with a concurrent resolution. The High Court's ruling states the General Assembly must adhere to the constitutional requirement of presentment even when attempting to overturn the governor's delegated putative authority to suspend laws. As I leave you today, we're about to celebrate Independence Day. As we currently face an international crisis of epic proportions, it would be a good time to revisit the words of Declaration signer John Adams. He said, "I am well aware of the toil and blood and treasure it will cost us to maintain this declaration and support and defend these states. Yet through all the gloom, I see rays of ravishing light and glory. I can see that the end is worth all the means. This is our day of deliverance." Adams' words have passed the test of time, and today may be more appropriate than ever. I'm John Longstreet with another edition of It Happened This Week. I'll see you again next week.